I want to thank IAMAI and Mr. Roy in particular and the team that has organized this event. I was told by Gaurav, I asked Gaurav, what do I speak about? He said, speak about entrepreneurship, about your journey of building Juststyle. I would like to know how many people in this audience are actually entrepreneurs or aspiring to be entrepreneurs. Okay, great. How many of you have used Juststyle in some form or the other? Oh my God, complete market saturation for us. Great. I'll share this, my journey, and of course it'll be open to questions after that. How did this idea of Juststyle, you think about it? Wherever I go, people ask me this question. Where the hell did you get this idea of Juststyle? So this is a very old story. Way back in 1989, I was just out of college. I used to work for a Yellow Pages company selling ad space. I actually wanted to be a chartered accountant, and I took up a sales job in a directory company because I had to supplement family income. So I said, I'll just do this sales job and obviously complete my CA and be a flourishing chartered accountant. But destiny had something else in mind. While working with a company for the first year, I got deep into it. I got so excited about this idea, I said I'll give it one more year. But the second year, when I was working in this company, bumped onto one of the customers and he said, hey, Mani, can you think of a new idea? I'm willing to fund you. And I was, from very childhood, I had this dream of touching lives of millions of people. क्या कुछ करना है, बड़ा बनना है. So this guy said that, and actually it was over the discussion, in the conversation, we kind of said, why not same business, but why publish directories? Why not just save all the data in a database and make it so dynamic that you can change it by the minute, and anybody can use it at any time of the day or night by merely calling a number. So we got excited about the idea. I was not taking the next step of actually jumping into it. Finally, there was a friend of mine, I was in Delhi at the time, and this guy is a rock-solid Punjabi who's always pushing people for entrepreneurship. He said, when usse share kiya, he said, come on, let's do it. And that's how three of us together started a company by a different name called Ask Me back then. From a small gala in Okla Industrial Estate, later on, we moved to the best of the office places in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Bangalore. You know, this is something like what an entrepreneur would dream. Like, here is you have Mr. Moneyback, who's able to get you the funding. Although it was not his own funding, he used to borrow money from his family and friends. And we would have, within a few months, we had offices in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Bangalore, and all over India. We had employed the best of the talent in the country. Pedigree was, in those days, there was not too many opportunities. There are not many multinationals. So the best of the people, you could employ them. So we had everything going, but for the ecosystem. You know, here we are trying to target 800 million Indians with an idea of search. Mind you, this is before the consumer internet era. Nobody in the world had heard about search in those days. And a bunch of three guys from Delhi thought about search. And we, in those days, created what you call keywords. Today, Google uses keywords. We used to use keywords back then. Because we used to have innumerable discussion. How do we have all this database stored in a manner that a college kid can actually retrieve and give that information? So we had everything going. Our idea was very well appreciated. But unfortunately, the ecosystem didn't exist. 800 million Indians had just 4 million phone connections. So that was less than 1% penetration. So, and we, as I said, we really employed very expensive people. We had high overhead, and after a point we ran out of funds, and we just couldn't go any further. Then I kind of said goodbye in 1991. I gifted my shares to my other partner who has put in all the money, who borrowed the money, and I felt bad for him. I said, buddy, you take my shares. I want about 25% of the company. I said, you should try and salvage something out of this. And then I moved on in life. Now, by this time, I had become the sole breadwinner in my family. So now, either I take up a job, because I have to pay the monthly bills. I had 3 siblings to take care, and my mother. So I said, either I take a job or I get back to some kind of a stopgap entrepreneurship. Because stopgap here, because I dreamt about a local search engine. I dreamt about millions and millions of people using it, and I knew it's happening because I've seen the vision already. So obviously, I had to continue my risk. I said, kya naukri karunga? How much will I get paid? And I also kill my spirit, entrepreneurship spirit. I did 4 years of stopgap entrepreneurship, but this was the difficult period of my life because I had to wait. Every day, every morning, every night, I'm just dreaming about starting a Just Dial, but the ecosystem didn't exist, and of course, I didn't have a penny in my pocket. So I had to wait for the ecosystem. I knew it would happen one day because it had happened rest of the world. And I had to save up some money, so just in case the ecosystem really improves, I should be able to start Just Dial. So it took me 4 years, actually in 1995. 1994, I moved from Delhi to Bombay. I thought this city is not lucky for me, I should move to Bombay. It's the most happening city in those days. Not anymore though. So Bombay will change my fate, and I'm going to rock there. So I met one Mr. Pradeep Guha of Times of India, sold some idea to him, and did a project with Times for a couple of years. So in those days, when I used to meet people, many of them knew that I ran a company called Ask Me, and they would just ask me, why did you discontinue that and all that? And then over the discussion, I would say, no, I'm going to do it all over again and make it a big success. You know one thing? Something went wrong. Many things went wrong and right with the company in the previous version. The things that went right was we got the right pedigree of people, we got the best of officers, we got everything else in place, but the ecosystem was not there. There are several other things that we were also wrong. Like how important a domain name is for a web company. It was that important back then for a company which was providing information over the phone that people should be able to remember the number. And we made a mistake because people used to remember a brand name called Ask Me, but nobody would be able to recall the number that easily. And it was a very difficult number to remember, 683 some 5551. He said, next time when I do it, it's going to be such a vanity number that once told, a person will never be able to forget the number. That was in my list of things. Like when I restart these are the things I'm going to do. So in 1995, I got to learn that there is one exchange in Bombay where they have this number, and the first 3 digits happen to start with 3 8s. They are the ones, they can give you this desired number of yours, which you wanted. I wanted like 888222233. And I went and met the general manager of the exchange and pitched this idea. No money in my pocket again. I said, I have this dream, boss. I can do this. It's very difficult to believe. We didn't have great leaders like Mr. Modi. Look at this vision, articulation, the clarity, Those days, these establishments were known for bureaucracy and corruption and other stuff. But fortunately for me, that man looked into my eyes and said, you seem to be a very genuine guy. I think I'm going to give you this number. Go and apply. In those days, phones used to cost 15,000 rupees a phone line. This is in 1995. So I told him, sir, and you have to be geographically located in that area, otherwise you wouldn't get the phone lines. Sir, I have to move to this place, and can you give it to me in writing that I could just go and then apply for that? See, we are a government department, we don't give it to you in writing, but just go and do it. Anyway, I took up a place in Bombay, which is very expensive, some 100,000 rupees deposit I had to pay to get a place there. And finally, I applied for the land and got this number, 88888. Every night I used to wake up and pick up the phone and check whether it's for working. It's just unbelievable because part of your dream, it's one piece of your dream is already clicked. So that's when, then I'm just like itching to go. I want to start it tomorrow. But then I learned that you have to pay 15,000 per phone. I didn't have the money to apply for phone lines. I said, it makes sense for me to apply for 10 lines and pay 30,000 and wait for it to come. And meanwhile, in any case, I have to build a new software, a search software, and also the required data to have a successful search company. And ours was local search, which means the requirements are very different from a generic search engine, obviously. So then, I said, good, actually it's a blessing in disguise, because 1 year it will take to get me the phone lines. By the time I would have this team to work on data and the software. So I had a one-man coding team. I used to write the kind of algorithms in English and write it, keep it ready for him the next day, and he would come and program it in FoxPro. Now, the idea was for us, when we relaunched the product, we should get all those things that we made mistakes back then. We should not repeat those mistakes and get it spot on this time like perfect. The first thing was the number, which I got it. Second was, obviously it had to be a free service. It was already, we had made up our mind. It had to be fast. The earlier avatar, it was not that fast. And the product lacked in many respects. So this time we said, it's going to be so fast that even you get a college kid there and just they have to type few keywords and the auto-suggest will give a response there on a FoxPro software. FoxPro used to have auto-suggest in those days. So, and then we got the search algorithm right, the speed was perfect, and then we employed the college kids, nearby area where we had advertised, and said, you come over, just you have to do nothing, just fill up this evaluation form, go from business to business, fill up this evaluation form, end of the day you get paid so much. So I saved up enough money to pay that. So 1996, finally I got the other lines, telephone lines which I had applied for. They all come and I said, okay, finally I'm launched Just Dial. I remember we probably had 1 month's working capital. I mean, if it had not clicked the first month, we wouldn't have lasted the next month. So which means whatever we do, it has to be so smart that the day one we should make money, so we pay our bills and save up some money to grow the business. So bootstrapping days. How do you start a business? Many people say, yeah, I cannot start a business because there's nobody to fund me. There's no capital. Without capital, you can't start a business. But I'm telling you, you can. So we used to, okay, if you cannot afford to buy it, lease it. If you can't afford to lease it, rent it. So we went ahead, even rented furnitures from the local tent house or decorators that you call it here. We used to rent at the rate of 2 rupees a chair because we didn't have chairs in our office. We used to rent furniture, obviously the computers, including the network cables. And we employed the kids. We built a great product. I mean, it's very difficult to please me. I said, this product really pleases me. I think I could go to the market. Then the idea is, okay, how do I go to the users? You have a great service, but people yet to use the service. No money to go to the users. So we said, let's do one thing. Let's employ feet on street. And they would go to businesses. And they would just demo our product to the businesses. This is our search product. And they would introduce themselves and then talk about this number. The person hearing it would obviously doubt the number that does exist because all 8 I've never heard of. And then the whole challenge, sir, of dial kariye, and you ask for anything you want. You can ask about your business. You can ask about your products that you deal in. And there, bingo, is to get instant response. So, for us, I'm sorry for the slide. Our initial customers are our angel investors. As I said, we wouldn't have lasted more than a month because that's the money that we had. But the guy, every 10 demo we used to make, in those days we used to charge about 900 odd rupees. So if you get your product right and price it really low and just play the number game, you can really win customers and you can see that momentum, some action happening. So every 10 or 12, 15 presentations we used to make, some kind soul used to chip in money, and then by the end of the month we were able to pay the payroll. First month we had paid the payroll and saved a few thousand rupees. We felt rich. So brilliant. Second month, we had saved several thousands of rupees. Then we said, this time to expand. So we said, add more salespeople. Add more salespeople, and they'll get more sales, so more surplus. So we did that for about 5 months and decided it's time to expand to a new city. So we started Just Dial in Delhi. And then we went to Bangalore, and we went on investing. Fortunately for us, these business owners who experience our service, they would strongly recommend to their employees and family members, hey, this thing works. And they say, dial karo, it will work immediately. And then the office staff would start using it, the family members would start using it. Virally, Just Dial just spread without a penny of advertising. In fact, the first 10 years, we never advertised. So the viral spread also gave us happy users. How did it make, happy users? Because you ask for what you want, you get it. So initially people used to use our service for searching by business name, which was very common. Give me the number of this company, give me the number of that company, and it worked. And then people realized that they could also search for products. So when they search for products, Just Dial acted as a de facto reverse auction engine for them. So you say, I want to buy computers, there are some 3-4 vendors competing to give you the better deal. Because they're doubly happy now. I get instantly what I want, and here are these vendors who are actually calling me up and I'm able to get a better deal. So with very happy users, obviously, happy advertisers. Honestly speaking, when we actually trained our staff and asked them to go to meet businessmen and sign up for our ad program, we had no confidence to go back and face them again because we didn't know that our product would deliver because we didn't have a single user at that time. It was the other way around. After a few months of launch of Just Dial, these very same advertisers who had paid few thousand, 900 rupees I think, they paid 900 rupees in those days. They would come back to us and say, hey, you have anything better? Because this really works for me. And for them, they were happy with the fact that they had ready-to-buy customers. And the return on investment was pretty high and it was measurable. So the happy advertisers really helped us then take the business organically, grow it. Now obviously those were times when you would not have anybody to fund you. There was no funding, venture capitalism, and so only thing that you do is you try to run your business smart. And you save up some money and put it back into growth. So we kept doing that. As I said, we used to take money from our customers in advance. So when you take money in advance, you have what they call it as a negative working capital. So you have a positive cash flow. So if a 1 year's advertisement fees charges, you get it in advance, and then you're able to use that money to grow. And that's how we grew. Like we kept increasing our sales force, and we kept growing to newer cities and doing it. Now in 1999, very interesting thing happened. Around the end of 1999, the dot-com boom days. So we folks were really happy. Finally, we get to see some business, the surplus and growth. It's really feeling good and happy. And then you have people come up to you and say, hey, your business is not going to last anymore. It's not going to be .com now. Now, till then I had only experienced two things. In 1997, we registered our domain name. I knew it will be internet one day for sure. So way back in 97, when several Indians had not heard about internet, we had registered our domain name justdial.com. We couldn't believe the fact that the world will change so dramatically that it's going to be internet. Because the dial-up network at my office wouldn't last for 2 minutes. It was so difficult to even check a mail or surf the net. But then everybody said it would. And then there was consultants, very large consulting firm approached us, say, look, we can help you become an internet company and help you raise money. So in 99, we had a choice to either completely go internet, raise money, and go that direction. Around the same time, one entrepreneur from US who had started a company in India He wanted to actually come and said, he met me and he said, hey, I want to buy some stocks in your company, or I want to merge both our companies together, and we were listed in NASDAQ. Those were times like every day the valuation used to change. Every day new ideas used to. So I heard him up, and then he said, I don't believe in your internet story, nor do I believe in this flimsy .com stock. Well, if you're giving me some cash, I don't mind giving some shares in my company, but not the whole of it. Some of it I'll give you, and then we can merge when you're listed in NASDAQ. So he put about $1.5 million in my pocket and took some shares in our company. I said, wow. He said, but you have to help me grow my business. I said, done, I'll set it up for you. So we set up that business. In that 7-month period that I was associated, or 10-month period that I was associated with that company, I've never seen money go down the drain. I've never seen dozens of people were recruited. All were given a 5-star accommodation because the company had just not provided a lease accommodation to them. And there were fleets of cars rented from a 5-star hotel. And people would spend all the time in the canteen or, down smoking and discussing about another domain name and an internet idea, and nobody used to work. I said, how long this can last? But people used to say, oh wow, you're lucky because this value of this company is going to be like billions. I said, fine, old school, maybe I have no idea about this. Plus, after the 8th month, the company didn't have money to pay the payroll. Now, I made my cash. I slept sleepless nights in those days, to the extent that even today I don't get proper sleep because of those days. And then I kind of took a sabbatical. I said, I have money in my pocket. I had done enough things, struggling. And I don't think I want to work anymore in life. I think I want to take a break. First I said I wouldn't want to take a break. Took a break, traveled around the world, did yoga, meditation, and felt, wow, light and so happy. I said, this is it. Now I'm going to become a yogi, a full-time person into all these activities. Stress-free life. About 18, 19 months I would have spent like that. Sometimes when you're too happy, life is too boring. So it came to a point, it's like I have nothing challenging to look up to every morning. I said, enough. I think I have to go back to my basics. I have to go back and build a great company. By then, things are moving in India. Things are changing. This is about 2002. And the NDA government was trying to at least make sound bites, and there were a lot of actions happening. I said, this is a good time to get back to business. And that's when I said, let's forget internet for a while. Let's do internet when we see at least 10% of Indians using internet for various purposes. Till then, let's focus on the telecom wave. So we know the telecom wave because by then wired phones, wireless phones, and then you had phones, mobile phones were available for pennies, you can talk time, and all that. So every other Indian started owning a phone, and it was easy for us to ride that wave, and we didn't have to again spend money. It was all virally growing, because of more connectivity, more people were using Just Dial, and in fact, it happened such that at some point we felt, look, we have to keep on scaling. There's so many call volumes increasing, add more seats, add more infrastructure, more people. Oh my God, this was like getting taxi. That's when I realized that I need to automate this. So the option was either go whole hog IVR based, which means you don't have human operators. People talk to a machine and try to get the information. We tested a lot of software, the best available in those days. Lucent was trying to impress us on that. When we tried it, it was not working. Well, we would have saved a lot of money, but we would have lost 90% of our revenue. So we had to decide what to do. Then we said, no, we will use a technology which has a mix, which has high-tech and human touch also. So which means an operator picks up the line like this, instantly, and he or she is able to search and quickly then push that data instead of reading it out by text and mail. So by then many Indians had email IDs and mobile numbers. This helped us bring down our cost by 60% for answering a call. So which means business became even more profitable, and the product experience for the consumer was wow. Oh, before I could keep my phone, the message was there. How many of you experienced that? All of you. See, thanks to technology, like Modi ji says. It's a technology. So when you leverage technology to the hilt and kept the script to as minimal as possible, the experience is wow. So after we improved the product, we thought we should go and raise some money with venture capitalists. The experience was not that great. Why? This was in 2004. Just about the venture capital business scene was hotting up, but the investors were focused on either if you're trying to ape the West, you're copying a Western idea, or the flavor of the season. Do you have a BPO business, outsourcing business? So I was actually one senior person from one of the venture capital company actually went me to the Leela Hotel in Delhi, Bombay. He said, I'll hear a story. Just in 10 minutes, he stopped talking to me. And I'm with my dosa and my he's also like we had a breakfast meeting. I didn't know how to now, I just trying to talk and he's just not listening. I said, sir, you think I should come some other time? He said, look, Mani, I like the passion in you. I don't like your business. I don't like your business. 2004. Google had just gone public only in September 2004. Am I right, sir? Something like that. So, what search? BPO. Can you start a BPO business? You come with a BPO plan, I'll fund you. Till then, goodbye. I left my dosa there and left. I said, that's the experience with venture capital. With a vengeance, I said, I will build this business without venture capital. I said, I'll go back. And as I said, we were not starving for money. We were growing, we had the money. We in fact built this infrastructure. You see this infrastructure? In 2004, this is a 10-year-old infrastructure of Just Dial. And this we used to have in every office like this. Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, everywhere. This 2004 when we built it, we said we built a world-class company without taking any funding so far. So which means this is in 2004, 96 we started, we've not spent, we've taken nothing, no money. But the money that I sold out was the money came to my pocket. The company got built with the $1,000 capital that I started. Then we said, okay, let's focus on better monetization. Because one thing I kind of realized that there is a bit of, linear model in our business. I think we need to make it non-linear. How do we get revenues grow without having to grow our sales force? It's like a contractor business. Jada aadmi dala tha, jada kam kiya. So you can make money. No, I don't want that. I want without adding more people, how could we do it? We were only thinking how to do it. We're not getting an idea. One day, a customer walks into our Bangalore office. This is very interesting because till then Just Dial had this policy that every customer in a set of keywords would pay almost the same amount of money and then names used to go on cyclical basis. Obviously relevance and all that, but when within relevance, if there are 10 people advertising, turn by 10. Like how do you have a taxi stand in the airport? You go and then come back and join the queue last. Again your turn. That was our system. Socialistic, nice, good people system. So this customer walks in. He comes with a briefcase full of cash. He says, sir, aap rakho. So we asked him, what? He said, mera naam sabse first aana chahiye. I want my name to be right on top. Every time there is call for this, I want to be the first one. We said, nothing doing. We have principled people. We can't just accept this. Sir, double le lo. We said, in that case, sure. So, we accepted that. And then we had this national sales conference. So this was narrated. So every sales head said, wow, this is great. We have to start this. Because they all have this request. Then finally we launched what we call a premium listing, which means it has certain look, feel, and this thing. So that kind of improved the monetization such that the business started growing without having to add more and more people, more and more feet on the street. So the non-linear growth, kind of gave us the confidence and we kept an opportunity. Now this is the time when my early investor who bought the stock, he said, boss, I am broke. Is there a way you can sell my shares because I have to get an exit? He said, this business is looking good. Why don't you wait for some more time? No, I don't have time. Just let's go and list. So we went exploring, meeting investment bankers in Bombay. They said, well, they don't understand the business, one. And two, they didn't kind of relate to their vision. And they thought nobody will buy the shares. Okay, anyway, we said some OTC exchange or some exchanges there. Other than NSE, BSE, there's one which you can list. We're almost going to list. We, in fact, requested Karvi to do the paperwork for us. And one day a PE investor walks in. So he walks in. In those days, it's very difficult to reach me because when you provide such a service, you don't want people to call you at odd hours. So you don't get your number. Money's number is not available. So they tried their best. It was their partners. They tried their best to reach me. They were not able to reach. They engaged Kotak and said, find this guy money and we want to meet him. So our first investor, Ravi Archimali, walks in and he meets us in the evening of one day. And he's so sold on the idea, he just goes back to the hotel and says, next day morning, 7 o'clock, can you meet us for the breakfast table? Let's sign the term sheet. That's the fastest ever they have done. And probably by all venture capital record, that could be one of the fastest deals. We said, no problems, but the valuation is so much. And we quoted some $60 million valuation. They said, no, without blinking an eyelid. They said, of course, we are done. I said, thoda zyada hi pooch liya hota hai. And around the same time, one of the biggest name in venture capital, we had signed the term sheet next day morning, the biggest name in venture capitalists, I don't want to name the person, based out of Valley, the god of venture capital, called up, spoke to me, saying that money, change your mind, come to us. I said, sir, I'm sorry, I've committed, so we cannot do this. And we went ahead with SEF, 1 month due diligence, seed, SANP, done. Within few months, 4 months, there's a hedge fund from New York City called Tiger Global. Chase Coleman and his team, they all walked into our office to hear the Just Dial story. How could he say no to Chase Coleman, the biggest of hedge fund investor, and his entire team? So we shared our story. They said, we want to put in money in your company. He said, sir, but, we can't do it now. We just took money and we don't need it now. He said, no, you can always, a bit of money always helps. He said, in that case, double the valuation. We thought he would say no and walk out. We said, done. So go ahead. We said, done. Okay. No due diligence because we had that KPMG guys really troubled us. 6 months back. We are not going to help you do. Done. We'll work with the old due diligence. They are cowboys of investor, in the venture world. They work different, very different. And I love to attend their internet conference every second year they have. It used to be every year and suddenly they changed it to every 2 years. But it's fantastic, organized in New York City. They have the best of the speakers and all their investing companies, about 250 people in Mandarin Oriental at New York City. It's fun. So we had two great investors. Now the question is, of course, we had decided by then to go online. You won't believe. For us, it was a debate every day. Should we or not? Why? Common sense says you have to go online. But for us, the problem was, hey, look, we have a service in voice. We are profitable. We're making money. Imagine if cannibalizes the traffic and the traffic moves to the net. Back then, net was not known for monetization. So definitely we will gain users, maybe deeper usage, but there's a good chance that we will degrow financially for few quarters or maybe a couple of years. We had very mature investors by then, so they kind of understood this. The second problem was, opening up the data. Opening up data means there could be wannabe competitors who do not have the data, because we have been around for several years, so they would just easily grab the data, put some ear, nose to it, and say, this is my data. So then there could be wannabe local search engines online which could be competing. The third challenge was, of course, we don't know the intentions of the large search engines. What is their intention? Is it truly not to be evil or not? So there are a lot of worries and it was a big decision. But hindsight, it was one of the best decisions I took. Best decisions we took, and the overall, the internet search that we launched, since then we have grown like 20 folds in terms of usage, widening our usage as well as deeper usage. So, and then we launched a website. This is a new look of the website. Back then it used to look very Google-ish. Only one search box. Now then we added these. And then we focused on enriching content. Okay, the game is different. When you do a voice search, it's all about accuracy of information. So you give for people what they want. If you say this guy deals in UPS stabilizer, he has to deal in UPS stabilizer. This guy deals in Mitsubishi air conditioners, that's it, done. Your job is kind of done. Okay, the phone number has to be correct. But when you put it on the web, the presentation, then people expect some kind of rich content. They want to see not just name and phone numbers. They want to see pictures. They want to see maps. They want to see videos maybe. And so we figured out on Google Maps, thanks to them, very nice people. And we started geocoding our data and started putting up there, so you start to see with some visuals, and you start to see the maps, and the pictures. We started adding all this. And then, okay, the challenge was, initially when we started monetizing, we said we'll keep voice separate and web separate. We're not going to mix it up, okay? So, obviously the vendors who were chipping in money, the small businesses, they were not familiar with the internet, so they would probably want to go on voice. So what we would do is, like, after they buy voice, we try to sell them a web package along with it. We tried. It was not a successful thing because we had people say, I don't want the web thing, so take out this money, and a lot of things, a lot of confusing things happened. Then we said, okay, what we need is a pricing engine. A pricing engine. One, because we needed a pricing engine for one particular reason. The traffic was growing rapidly. And there was a lot of human decisions taken, how much this guy should be paying for this premium listing, that premium listing. The managers used to spend most of the time discussing about what should be the price. And there was favoritism. There was a lot of things going wrong and right. Like sometimes we were overcharging people, sometimes we were undercharging people. So this kind of a business won't work. It doesn't look like scalable. So we said we put all this data, intelligence into a technology, and then let people choose the keywords they want to buy. So you choose the keyword, then you choose the geographic targeting. So you say, I want South Extension in Delhi. I'm a dentist. I'm also a cosmetic dentist. I do pediatric dentist. And you give all the keywords relevant to your business. Tell us the targeting. The pricing engine will tell you, this is the price you pay. If it is a premium listing, this is what you pay. And if it is non-premium, this is what you pay. One of the very good things we did, because this has really helped us even till today. And we just keep improving the pricing engine. Unlike Google, we cannot have click-through model because most of our customers, even today, do not have websites. So I cannot tell them, look, I sent you traffic. So I have to give them tangible, measurable response in terms of leads, calls. That's what we had to do. So we had to build the pricing engine slightly different from the regular, auction-based model. But yes, it is somewhat inspired from that because it kind of takes market factors to price it. For example, there was a time the keyword Nokia used to be very expensive. Today nobody wants to buy it. And Samsung, which is not that cool on phone, is one of the hottest keyword out there. So the pricing engine takes care of it. We don't have any human intervention. Then we have the OOPS movement. Paisa bank mein, you have cash in bank. Yeah, you got some real smart, sexy investors. Then you have a pricing engine. It's time to make mistakes. So there was one dude in our board who was from US, was the early investor, I said. Not the venture capitalist, the entrepreneur investor. He said, look, America, people are talking about pay-per-call. That is the new way of advertising, which means you just allow people to bid for the calls they get, and then the company focuses its energy on the traffic. You just keep acquiring more traffic. Because of more traffic, these guys are going to get calls, and that's it. You have a fantastic scalable model, and you have a pricing engine in place already. He said, let's do it. We debated a couple of board meetings, we discussed only. Then finally we took a plunge in 2008, I think. We took a plunge. He was right. Customers liked this idea. Had to pay for only calls. They started signing up. So brilliant. So this is it. What were we doing all these days? A large percentage of Just Tell revenues are from renewal of contracts. Good. When the time for renewal came, they said, look, I have the list ready. These are the 200 calls I got, and this 10 calls is what I'm going to pay for. 190, I can tell you, I didn't do any business with these people. So their understanding about pay-per-call and our understanding, there was there was only misunderstanding. We said, wow, we were growing at like some 50 plus percentage in revenue. We came down to some 27% or probably something less than that. Panic. And the same investors who were nice to you started showing different colors. They said, the problem is you don't have a good CEO. I said, no, you are the great founder, but you need a professional CEO. And they said, forget. Then I said, look guys, give me just 1 quarter. I request you to give me 1 quarter. Let me set right things. Went back to my survival money. Said, how the hell I can't solve this problem? I said, problem is simple. It's human created. It's not we created it. Customers are happy with Just Tell in any case. Go back to basics. Again, bundle everything into one. So you buy only Just Tell. You don't like the website, comes with free for you. You don't like the voice one, web you buy, you get voice free. And we simplified the product, then put it onto the pricing engine, made it easy. The people who were relieved the most were our sales team members. They said, wow, finally a client logo. These bosses, they have no idea. They sit in the ivory towers. They didn't know the reality. They were very happy. And then we grew. Again, business bounced back. Actually, we had a hockey stick growth from 2009. 2010, we said, I think there's a lot of social media talk then. We said, okay, we need to have user-generated content. Particularly, we were more bothered about user-generated ratings and reviews on our site. We introduced user-generated reviews and ratings. How many of you have written a review in any website? Raise your hand. Only people have written a review. Okay, this is a very big audience. No, okay, not just rating. You wrote at least 2 lines. Khana bahut acha tha, dam malum mein thoda masala kam tha. Is that all? You've done it? Brilliant. This is actually a first time I'm meeting an audience where 10% of the people have actually reviewed a place. Our experience was different. It was only 1% of our users were actually writing a review. And 1% of words. So we kind of launched it and we were not going anywhere. So again we had people to advise us. They said, look, you know that company called Yelp, you know this company called this. They all start with employing people, get the thing going first. And inspired by reading the reviews, genuine people start contributing it. Somewhere I felt like, no, it was not really the right thing for us to do because we never focused like that as a company. We said, let's do one thing. We generally went about asking our users, would you like to write a review? The overwhelming majority said no. We asked them, would you like to have your views said in like, I like it, don't like it, good, bad? Yeah, why not? We said, okay, good. Go back to the team and said, okay, if I give you 5 lengthy review guys and 250 people's opinion, what would you like? Everybody said 250 people's opinion. Not 5 review because they doubt who is writing the review. We said, let's go and do a sincere job at that. Start encouraging our users both on web and voice to rate businesses. So you would have experienced that if you're called Just Tell. Last time you had called for this restaurant, how was your experience? Would you like to share with us? That kind of gave us the rating system which is so genuine that you can blindly trust and believe it. And it has a graph. It has a trend. It tells you, okay, this guy was good, but now it's like his popularity is dropping. So we did that, and that gave us today we have 35 million ratings, and at least a good number of people out of that, maybe it must be 2 is to, every user kind of a, so you would actually, when you, and this is how we present it, as you see the listing and now we call it the trust factor. So in the trust factor, we also give you the year of establishment and also number of people who have rated it, and what is the overall rating. If you click on the overall rating, you get to read the reviews, if any, and also see the trend, the rough trend, and that's also presented on the listings page. And there is a JD verified stamp wherever we personally go verify, and that's how the graph is. So this is how the graph looks like. So you can imagine, we tried something, didn't work, but just being honest, truthful to yourself, we got something which is better, which is having 35 million Indians, 35 million ratings. I know so many million Indians. And soon all of you will actually may think like it's an obligation for you to go out there and contribute in Just Dial, because many people contribute, it's genuine, and then it is also helping your friends take the right decision. And your people. Then we focus our energy on mobile app. So we said, okay, obviously the users are going on mobile, so mobile is going to be less about browsing and it's directly going to come through an app. So we had to develop an app. The first, we developed an app which was basic app, and then we said, look, we have millions of ratings. And you cannot rate a business in Just Dial without parting with your cell number. So you rate, you have to part with your cell number. Your mobile number is verified. We send you a passcode, and then you rate it. So when we have 35 million genuine ratings, why not have people download the app, instantly be able to see their own friends' ratings? I challenge all of you here in this room. When you download the Just Dial app, you'll definitely see a bunch of your friends who would have rated some business or the other. It goes somewhat like the WhatsApp style, where when you download the app, we have access to your directory, but we don't use your directory for any other purpose. It's easy for us to start a Truecaller and be better than a Truecaller, but we would never do that. But you can see your friends' ratings because of this app. And that's where the world is moving. Because ratings and reviews are today manipulated by business owners, social media companies. You have social media companies come and pitch it to you. Oh, I can get you wonderful reviews, some nice this thing, and ratings. So you have to pay so much per review or rating and all that. But at Just Dial you cannot, because you have to own that many cell phones to do it. And then when you gradually go to the point of, oh, I will believe the rating only if it is rated by my friend, these ratings will be of no use. So that's where we are looking, the future is looking there. And now we are also encouraging the same people to write a few lines at least. Or get to the next level of rating. So for example, if you rate a restaurant, you will say, okay, how do you rate the food, how do you rate the ambiance, how do you rate the service? And then there's a menu card. Okay, what are the food items you liked in this restaurant, just type. So you would actually be able to see what your friend likes in that restaurant. So your decision making can be if you have same likes, or you'll know what to avoid. And so this is how the current look of the app is. That's the friends ratings. Some people have rated 30 businesses, 9 businesses, 25. Then going public. In 2010, we decided to go public because one of our investing companies had gone public. And he said, no, you guys have to also go public. I said, okay, we'll go public. We kind of announced to the market like we're going public. We applied. There was no reply from the SEBI. It took months together to get a response because there was the official go slow policy at SEBI. We didn't get any response, and then finally we got response in end of 11, and then we said, okay, in 2012 we go public. Christmas time, Chodo, 12 we'll start, and April, May we'll go public. We did a fantastic roadshow, brilliant response, investors were very happy, but India went down. The rupee tanked to 67 rupees, BSC Sensex went to 16,000, just the day when, and the Facebook stock got listed and got badgered, and we were there in San Francisco making pitch to investors, and the mood was really not good that time. Not good to live, not that internet story. Anyways, we came back, and then the bankers said, look buddy, this is probably not the right time that we would risk as bankers to go public, so we'll wait for some time. Then existing investors, Sequoia Capital, which finally bought out the old investor, he has real timing, when to sell, he bought the stock at the dot-com boom days, sold it the day Sensex hit 9,000 rupees, 9,000 points. So Sequoia got a strong deal. So they're sitting with the 30 bagger today. So anyways, Sequoia said, we want to invest more money into your company. They put in some money. about 300 odd crores, and then we said we can wait to go public. Then finally we went again in 2013. 2013, it was interesting, in fact. Almost action replay. India is in bad news. Nobody wants to listen to internet story. And generally, at the time of when we were going public, and so everybody said it's probably not the right time, even including the bankers were not too. We had this gut feel somehow, like no, the response when you look into the eye-to-eye investors, they seem to be very interested in our model. So I took a decision of we are going public. So every newspaper in this country, any financial newspaper, you open and read. If you Google and search it, it will say ki just that IPO, wrong timing, likely to be undersubscribed, and it's not just going to happen. Maybe just barely manage it. And what happened was we were, I think, 12.7 times oversubscribed. And then later on it became just India's 2013's largest IPO. So when you're good, when your vision is clear, there are a lot of intelligent people out there. They look at your sincerity, honesty, and they reward you. And this is like a big reward. You know, when actually investors reward you, that's the biggest reward. When your employees talk high about you, that's a big reward. When your customers love you, that's a big reward. Reward is not coming to IAMAI and collecting one award. That is okay. That if you get it or not get it, it's a different matter. But these are very important people. Your employees, your investors, and your customers. And of course, media, as you know how they change. They started singing our song, and I happened to bump onto something like this. It says that we actually breached the top 100 companies in the Bombay Stock Exchange. That is a bit too much. Anyway, so we were the 100 most valuable companies by market cap on some particular date. But you know how fickle share prices are. We are no more at 100, we're slightly below. But it's a great feeling that when you start a company at a time when the ecosystem sucks, when your overall things were not in favor, there were no great leaders like the man who spoke before me. You know, such kind of vision I've never seen from a politician. You know, such clarity. So I'm a grand old man in entrepreneurship because I will complete 25 years I started as a kid actually. So the journey, particularly in this country, it's a very unique country because every time you go a little up, there is somebody, some system, something pulling you down. So, and then doing your own thing, not aping someone's idea and pursuing it like a deed, and then finally having that kind of a recognition. Yeah, it's a good feel. Then we felt search. This is a very interesting thing because what happened was at my house I used to observe my wife. You know, she's generally busy doing some odd things. So I would see her taking appointment with the doctor. Just the phone is not getting through. Ordering food from the grocery store, or medicines, or booking table at a restaurant. Generally, it's not a very pleasant thing. It didn't look so pleasant, at least for me, that she was really seemed to be like not very happy and easy about it. So I casually asked her one day, a few months back, said, how about this? I give all this in an app. One single app, where book a table in a restaurant, double click, your job done. Fix an appointment with the doctor, 3 clicks. Your own grocery store guy, the nukkad, the corner store. Okay, how about placing order online? She said, first time in the 20 years of our marriage you made sense to me. If you could do that, I will say, boss, you have some stuff in you. Then I said, okay, Just Dial is just a search engine today, a local search engine. How about making life easy for people? How about making it a search plus transaction engine? An engine which allows you the flexibility to do things at the time that you want to do it. Execution can be at any time. So I can fix an appointment with the doctor at 12 o'clock at night. Obviously his clinic is not on, so I can't call him up. So can I do that? Can I order groceries for women who are like multitasking, working a job and all that? Okay, whenever you get time, you just want to do it. So can I do it when I get a free time traveling in the car back home? Yeah, you can. You can schedule the delivery. You can get... So this is a feature we have added. So you will find several restaurants. From today, if you want to book a table, please do use our web version of it, even if you don't have the app. Pretty good. You can book a table. It takes you a few seconds to do it. Ordering food, even simple. There's a digital menu card, and you can just order food. And soon you will also know what your friends like in the restaurant, what others are recommending. This is how the menu card is, so you can read the menu items. And just, it's like a simple add to cart. Just write the number of quantities, submit. It takes the same 25-30 minutes for the restaurant if they do home delivery. We are not into logistics. We don't do delivery for them. But if they do home delivery, you're having a nice, seamless experience. Same thing with doctors. You'd get to see doctor. That fellow in the middle is not a doctor, I know. One of the three guys is a doctor out there in the picture. So the doctor's picture, the clinics, you can play the video and they can book an appointment. This is how the doctor's calendar is. You can choose a date convenient to you and the time and then just submit it. Then we also started a marketplace. Okay. In the United States, one of the largest, well-penetrated internet markets in the world, about 6.5% of commerce is e-commerce, 93.5% is still not e-commerce. It's like offline. So people still go to Best Buy and buy things. People go to, a lot of things are still offline. India actually is a very unique country. The number of people who are entrepreneurs, having self-employed, catering to our needs are so many. And we don't have large format stores either. So these are very efficient setups and they're super solid logistics in place and they're very eager to please you and grow the business because it's a matter of survival for them. We said if we have to do our own online shopping thing, it will be only a marketplace. It will be those millions of vendors who are listed at Just Dial are able to sell their products online. We will be the enabler, we will be the facilitator for them. And for you as a buyer, you could just choose from basis the trust factor, the ratings, and the price. You can even sort by the price or user ratings, and your decision making becomes easier. Soon you will also be able to see your friends' ratings for the same establishments. And you won't believe it. The service is like within 3 hours the product is delivered at your doorstep. Not 3 days, not 4 days. Instantaneous delivery of products. The guy comes, he gives you, hand you over the, the warranty card, and actually it teaches you how to use the product. Sir, iska remote tera alag hai. This remote works like this. This operating system is different. I'll help you. I'll set up your email also. This is the beauty about it. And you are getting this. When you compare the prices with the online stores, you'll be surprised. This is just a beginning. It's a baby product. It's just a few weeks old for us. But you will see in the days to come, this is going to rock. In fact, you as a habit, you're going to change now. You're going to see, next time I buy a product, I want to check the price at Just Dial. Whether you buy it here or not, I don't know. You may want to check the price. You want to arm yourself with the right price. It's not the online price. It is the offline store guy who's giving the price. So I can go to the store guy and say, hey, Burkos, you're selling electronics. The other guy, dude, is giving to me at 300 rupees cheaper. Maybe you can win on 300 rupees cheaper without much effort. Just flip your mobile phone and show him the price quoted at Just Dial. Second, the reverse auction engine. Here, we are taking it to the next level. So you can say, I want to buy a Samsung 55-inch 9000 series, blah, 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 model. Here you go, 60 seconds. You get live quotes from vendors with delivery time. So come, buy it from us. You can, and the best price at the least of efforts. And we have created a shop front for every listing. So this is like a Sony Moni electronic stores. It's like a mini Amazon for them because every product they sell, you can actually play with it. You can play with the shop. You can say mobile, you can say filter by brand, you can say filter by price or megapixel of camera. You can say television, play with the LED TV, whatever the time. There's a search box, and these are shops for every little shop. You'll be able to play with it and then go and buy it, or buy it online, or even call up and place an order. In cases where we don't have a ready-made price for you, you can request for a quote and it will be within seconds that you would get quotes. Because if you want to buy bicycles, you want to buy car batteries, you want to buy car tires, you want to buy some branded product, and you will get an instant price quote for the model that you want to buy without any effort, and majority of them will deliver at your doorstep. In Mumbai, there are 200 wine stores who are listed in Just Style. You can order online and they deliver your favorite beer and whiskey or whatever. We also have introduced flowers. You can send your Valentine's flowers through us and let me know. Share your feedback. If it was not good, another flower bouquet free from me. Okay, finally, the master app, as I said, the conversation with my wife, I said, look, master app is going to be the future. A single app which you save your credit card, you do 3 clicks to buy tickets, 2 clicks to fix an appointment, you know, whether it's movie ticket or train ticket or a flight ticket or it's booking a table anywhere, you just have to do a few clicks and it'll all be into one device like a cell phone or a tablet or this thing. Along with this, we are developing vendor apps. These vendor apps are for stores, because when we dealt with these vendors, we realized that the level of technology is so low. So we said, okay, let's build something like which can integrate the back end and front end. So something like if you go to a grocery store, when he gets his product from HLL, through our scanner, it's put into the system, so he knows the inventory. As he builds it using our technology, he will know exactly what's available. Hence, the shop that gets displayed at Just Style has more accurate information as per the stock availability. And this gentleman who owns 6 of these shops, by the minute he can flick his mobile phone and see what's the sale so far. Somebody in Gujarat likes to read it in Gujarati, so he gets it in Gujarati. For you, you're interacting with English. Maybe if you want French at some time, I'll give you French also. So that's the way we think, and thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm open to take questions, if any, if we have time.
Thank you, Mani. It was very inspiring.
Thank you.
One small question. You've seen the journey. It's been a full circle. You got listed and everything. Now with the technology disrupting businesses like crazy, what do you think can come and disrupt your party? What could be the challenger that you fear?
I didn't get the disruptive part. What is it?
So I'm saying that today technology is disrupting businesses like crazy. Every year we are seeing, Ola cabs and all these coming in. So what do you think could be a challenger to your business who can disrupt this model and, come with something totally new?
Absolutely. See, if you look at the history of our company, we have been there for a while now. 96 till today. One of the primary reasons that we've been around is because we only focused on disrupting our own model and focus on the user. The user needs it, we have it. But we will not make the 1989 error where the user is 10 years away back and you just don't jump into something and waste your energies onto it. But you do it when he's ripe and ready. And you would see a cab app, which you would see soon from Just Style, where you would be able to get a private car at cab prices, and the person would be verified by Just Style. The ownership of the car to the driver is verified, and you prepay to Just Style, and you just coolly hop onto the cab in any city you want. Do it with the right time. Their hands are full now, there is a priority list, but we won't leave anything there. Let me tell you, there are 2 aspects to it. 3 aspects actually. There's the technology part, which I don't think is any more challenging. Okay, any technology that gets created, 6 months it takes to re-engineer it. It's not a big deal anymore. The user adoption is the second biggest challenge. User adoption, if you see, has to really catch on. A lot of us complain about your 3G is not working, most of the time you're not able to use it. In fact, many of the users who still call us say, boss, I prefer to use the app, but then you know how the data starts. So, the user adoption will happen when the ecosystem improves further. If they have been talking about a 4G and things like that, I hope one day it happens. Then the third element is the vendor participation. Vendor actually is smart. He doesn't speak the language that we do, but he's so smart in understanding these opportunities. The moment you show him the user actually going there, he just jumps onto it. So these three things are to be looked at it. Sometimes trying to ape the West because something clicked in California would work here, not necessarily the case. But I can promise you, you will never see Just Dial being disrupted till I am running the company. Many people advise us to change the name. Bahut ho gaya hai Just Dial. You know, I was seriously looking into it. I actually wanted to buy a domain name called JD.com. So there was an owner in America who owned it. He said $8 million. I said, hey guys, so we had a meeting. He said, is it worth $8 million? Who can buy it? Jack Daniel, JD Power magazine and all that. Chhod yaar, he'll come back to us within months. He came back to us within months. He said, I have a real buyer. I'm giving you a chance. We said, it's like a game. Now he's desperate to sell. Hang on. A month later, we go to him. He doesn't get back to us. Buddy, we want to buy the domain. Sorry, it's sold. He said, a company called 365 in China. Their company name is some Dong Dong or something like that. So they bought it. JD.com. So I really cursed myself. One of the regrets that I have is this one, you know, I should have bought it, you know. Sometimes being in this, if you had got this opportunity, probably in a vacation in New York City or breathing air there, you would say, buy it today, because your mood is different. Out here, you think things differently. Preserve, conserve, cheating, you know, all those things. Anyways, but a few months back, I felt good actually. My 8-year-old son asked me, Dad, what's the meaning of dial? I said to my wife, first antique ho gaya name. They don't know this generation, they don't know what is dial. Because they all only call. And they only select name and call. We used to dial. He said, Ranadu, this is going to be like a special thing. So don't change the name.
Great presentation. So if you look at the consumers coming in, they come on the phone, they come on the net, they're using apps. And you've seen this segment evolve over the last few years. How do you for all of us sitting out here, there is this whole internet-only conversation we have. But if you look at, your own utilization of consumers coming on, how do you see this changing? That means if there was 80% coming and calling up and maybe 15% on internet browsing and 5% on the app, how has it been changing and what do you see over the next 2 years for entrepreneurs sitting out here who want to only have an internet strategy, or it'll give us an insight?
So as I speak, 70% of our traffic is on the web. And 40% of this, just mixing up a bit, I think 40% of the 70% is coming on mobile devices. Okay, so definite it's going to be internet. Obviously it makes sense. I stopped calling. I mean, the biggest quality tester of Just Dial is lost now because I just don't call anymore to improve the voice service. Because I use the web, I use the app all the time, and that's going to be the way forward, obviously. But you need to have voice in India as a hook. There are still many users who would have not used Just Dial yet. They would probably use the voice service someplace in large cities, tier 2, tier 3 also. There are some 45 plus guys who say, I always like somebody attending to me. So you kind of have all of this. Let it die on its own. Don't kill it yourself.
Yeah, Mani, hi.
But if anybody wants to do something to do with voice now, I advise you not to, because it's not a growing business.
Yeah, Mani, hi. Thanks for the presentation. It was lovely. You've talked about multiple things in terms of where Just Dial is going with its vendor master app. What part of this focus is going outside the top 10, 20 cities, according to you? Are you pushing more for rural or tier 2, tier 3 towns?
You'd be surprised, actually. It's basically in our country, it's an infrastructure problem. People in tier 2, tier 3 are equally smart as the tier 1 cities. You can always debate whether they actually need it or not because they know where it is and all those things. Who doesn't like to save money? Who doesn't like to save time? Who doesn't like to click and order? And if it's delivered at the doorstep. So I would see, we are pushing everywhere. In fact, our main focus is going to be less of advertising and more of evangelist activity. In all probability, you're going to hear all of this from your neighbor kid who's going to come with the iPad to you and say, uncle, I have some very interesting things to make your life easier. आप बहुत stress दिख रहे हैं, your stress will all vanish because you use the Just Dial app. They will teach you how to use the app. This will happen in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, everywhere in India. And because I feel that's how in this country you can have people use apps. You know, people don't use apps that easily because they all think it's too complicated. It is not actually, it's simple. You just have to do that little bit of it. So I don't see any difference. And tier 2, tier 3 people also travel.
Hi, Mani. To your left. Hi. Hey, how are you? I love how Indian names sound in the West. My name is Kartik Ram. You have a cooler name when you call Mani, right? So, so the question for you is, in the U.S. and around the world, the big sort of business model breakthrough has been collaborative consumption, where things that weren't commoditized or shared previously are being, like houses and cars and so on. So obviously that phenomenon is bound to take on India, where things that aren't meant to be sold are sold now. Not just merchants that want to sell or have a propensity to sell. How do you see that playing out for you? Because I think that would be the big next big growth curve for a business like yours.
You're talking about the businesses selling to consumers or consumers selling to consumers?
Look at Airbnb or Craigslist or any such phenomenon of collaborative consumption. People selling to people and the network effect of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, of course, there are opportunities. Even our evangelist program is somewhat going to have a network effect of people selling to people. But in this case scenario, I didn't get exactly where the opportunity is.
Right now you have businesses selling to consumers through your medium.
That's right.
Very soon there'll be people that weren't businesses before but become businesses just to sell. The whole premise of collaborative consumption is to fractionalize or share something that wasn't shared before, like a house. So I would see that a platform like yours would actually
why not? I mean, if there is an opportunity there. You're talking about timeshare kind of a thing? Or
yeah, like Airbnb
like that,
or anything like that.
What is that holiday home thing in US? It's immensely popular now.
Airbnb being the big player, Or Uber for cabs, right?
Right. Yes. I mean, it's all, see again, I once again tell you, it's all about the ecosystem. So if the ecosystem exists, culturally people are open to it, you know, you would jump into it. So you can ask some of these online companies who are trying to sell C2C, right? Like, you know, you can sell your furniture, sell your mobile phones and all that. We need to check because there's still not much of traction there because a lot of vendors who sell these products actually end up coming to your doorstep to buy, you know, this thing. But yes, I mean, see, as a company, you always think about growth, constant growth from here to where next. For example, the vendor app itself is not our domain actually, but when we build this technology, we said a little bit more on this technology can actually be a useful tool for him to run his business efficiently, whether it's a spa or a grocery store or a doctor. You know, the doctor app that we have, you can even practice. The practicing doctor can actually ask you your name and then age and all that. And you say, okay, symptoms. You just write 2 words, 2 letters, you get the symptoms as an autosuggest. So you select the symptoms. On the right-hand side, the app will tell him the likely illnesses that this patient could be having based on the symptoms. Then the next question it prompts, like asking the medicine he's taking. So each medicine has a side effect. So as you put the medicine, on the right-hand side it tells, hey, the side effect is clashing with the symptoms that he has. So your problem is solved, like, you know. And many such things. I mean, a lot of things here between the years getting rolled out. But we are a bit of a Bunya-style company, smart, thoda paisa ka sochte hain. We'll do things like what you're saying when we see opportunity. 10% of population. 1% also will start working on it.
One question, Mani, here.
Yeah.
So I'm Parikshit. So we're on a startup in Hyderabad. So I had a couple of questions. So one is with regards to your plans to go international. And 2, what's your thought on WeConnect? So I've heard of a company which I think ripped off your idea and is trying to run it in Nigeria and Africa.
So we tried in the US. We still have some traffic coming there. The markets are very different. So when we tried US, we thought like we'll employ a large sales force out of India, talk to small businesses, validate their information, and then kind of help them pay and list and all that. Our experience was different because there in the US, it's more like a feet-on-street market, or you spend a lot of money on branding and get to that level. And also a market where there are already players. There are a lot of vertical players, there's players. So we kind of said, okay, US is not our top priority right now, unless we are convinced that our product is really good to go to the US. And other markets, which are not that mature as US, we may not look at Africa right now. I think we connect is in Africa, Nigeria. No? So we definitely we are looking at opportunities in the Middle East, in Southeast Asia and Asian countries. And we're going to do it with the entire product being ready, the master app and other stuff. Because as you all know, we are all moving towards the mobile now. So the mobile product has to be really superior, rock solid. And then we would just, once your product is good, the adaptation is better and you do well. And maybe we'll start and we'll not even think about revenues for years to come. We just focus on enriching content and getting more and more users and figure out money making later.
Hi. Congratulations. Your journey was as cool as your PPT was. I just have a small query that when you add on more in your life, you tend to forget what happened 10 years back or 15 years back. In your case, when you have added more data, what happens, when there are changes in the previous data. I'll give you a very small example. I come from Mumbai and I needed a phone number of Lalit. When I called Just Dial, they had a very old number of Lalit. So how do you tend to do that, or are you planning to make any software where, like the updates happen on its own, or probably it can be done manual? Because at times we tend to forget the changes,
You mean the Lalit number is
Yes. It's wrongly mentioned in Just Dial.
Wow. You've given me some work today.
Yeah,
You've given me some work.
Yeah.
For us, fortunately, Just Dial is lucky to be in the business that we are in. Like people like you give feedback to us, See, as I open my app, it says I'm at Lalit Hotel. Okay. So, we are constantly, can somebody look at it, Lalit number, if it is correct, and fix it right away? Yeah. So
I didn't mean to complain. It was
no. It's not that. This is how I kind of behave.
I want to understand how do you do that, because what data is you've collected.
No, actually, data is, this is really surprising because Lalit number, if it is incorrect, we will get to know within hours.
I think I may have a message which I can forward.
Do that, because you may have got a Lalit in Faridabad.
Yeah, no,
sometimes what happens,
they gave me
I'll tell you what.
Here and Faridabad as well.
Okay, let me tell you.
Faridabad.
Okay, the way it works is, we have this national number now. Maybe you have dialed that number,
No.
0 and 10 times 8.
I dialed daily, Just Dial.
That is all twos?
I guess my friend, she did that for me, because she has a local number here.
Okay, so what happens is, what happens with the national number, the call gets routed to the city of origin. So the city of origin, sometimes the agent sitting there.
Let me finish. The address was this hotel, but the number was incorrect. Then he gave me another hotel number, Lalit, which is at Faridabad. And he confirmed there are 2 Lalit hotels. One is in Connaught Place, which is this, and the other one. But the number was different. I just didn't mean to complain. I'm just saying that
no, ma'am,
what
actually,
is the way out?
I'm really thankful to you. In fact, we're going to have a contest soon that point out a wrong number and earn 100 rupees and become a crorepati. No joke. We are announcing this contest. 100 bucks for every wrong information that you point out at JD. Well, you also maybe be lucky enough to win a Mercedes-Benz by the end of the year. Lucky draw. But this 100 bucks is guaranteed that if you don't find a particular number correct, and this is going to be rolled out in the next few weeks, for sure. And this, no, it's somebody's dialing it. It's wrong. Okay. So we just have to fix it. Now how we go about doing this, I'll tell you. So we go back to work and we check on the system. So the system, either on the web, somebody would have reported it as not working, or on the voice, where agents are supposed to, supposing you call up the service and say, hey, the number was incorrect, he or she is supposed to log in on the system and say, hey, this number is incorrect. And there is a team which is just waiting for, you know what? In those days, before the TRAI regulation days, what used to happen is, we used to call back the user and give him the correct number. Now with the TRAI regulation, you just can't do anything. So we cannot even call you back because you may just file a case against us, you may just do something which can be action, this thing. But we are here to win all of you. And you won the first 100 rupees.
Hi, Mani. Hi, you're to your left.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Aditya. We all talk about that the internet audience in India is predominantly young, and it's all the youngsters. You went with Amitabh Bachchan as your brand ambassador. Was there ever a debate that even though he is someone who will resonate across age groups, you want someone who will resonate specifically with the youth? And once you've gone with that decision, what kind of ROI did you really get? Did you, so what was the jump? Because Amitabh Bachchan obviously doesn't come cheap. So what is the kind of ROI that you got out of that decision that you took?
Yeah, so when we decided on Amitabh Bachchan, we debated on the cricket players, we debated on other movie actors and stars. We wanted to go ahead with Amitabh for several reasons. One is because his appeal pan-India, especially upcountry, where we wanted like people in Lucknow, Kanpur, and smaller cities in India also start using chess style. We were rolling out our national this thing. So there it made a lot of sense. And then we thought like he has reached a level that he's not like a cricketer who doesn't perform, then people start talking rubbish, and then you have, it's a different, then you lene ke dene bolte na, so when we did Amitabh Bachchan, that was one decision because of his mass appeal across age groups, because of his KBC. And second reason was also he was very smart in tweeting, tech savvy, on Facebook, things like that. So we said, yeah, this is a guy who can pull it through. We'll first start with the voice advertising and then slowly get on to this. But now we more think about it, we don't need a brand ambassador. We need common people to come in and tell, I will be contacting her because we need some bad reviews also. So we want somebody to come and say, hey, look, it works for me, 99% it works, ek baar Lalit Patel ka number hai. We'll show an ad like that. So we want common people to use it. Yes, Amitabh really paid off. Both are durable. It is. No, it's a good question because a lot of perception about technology, internet is about young people. Why not have a Ranbir Kapoor instead of a Amitabh Bachchan is the question that people may ask. But is Ranbir known for tweeting? Is he popular for Facebook? Can he have mass appeal across India? No, not many people even know who's Ranbir and Ranbir now. So that's the thing. So that is a phase we needed it. Now we are also...
Hi. Hi, Mani. I'm Praveen.
I think she said last question, huh?
Hi, I'm Praveen from Sprint Technosis, Bangalore. We are based a mobile app development company in Bangalore. Do you have any future plan to bring Just Dial API? Because we have just seen you have a master app that everything can be universal, like booking a ticket and everything.
So we kind of have this debate every now and then. We find a bit of risk there.
Okay.
Somewhat, so we don't want to open up our APIs and have people access and maybe things will change. It's all a matter of time.
No, because we have some idea in that, as you said, book my table.
You can write to us. Yeah, what book?
No, the book my table, as you said, book my table.
Yeah.
Many people have no idea like booking a table and booking a cab and every facilities. So Just Dial has all the facilities in single thing. So if you give me a secure...
Actually, you're right. So when we actually get to the complete integration with vendors,
okay,
then maybe this content can be published in third-party sites.
Okay.
When I mean complete integration, there is a lot more effort to be done now.
Okay.
Your user experience will be good.
Okay.
But we put in a lot of effort to do that.
Okay.
But it has to be like seamless. All these vendors have to use technology.
Okay.
We are a bit of, we do other things other than just referring to the app. The guy may have switched it off. He's not referring to it. And then we have methods to remind him.
Okay.
As you book a table, there's an auto dialer which dials the restaurant and say, hey, look at your reservation there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
because as a company point of view, because many people have this kind of idea, they need to search a database, they need to sit and do the things, but all the facilities that Just Dial have,
absolutely.
And it will be easy to
absolutely
link out under the B2B.
In fact, one of the leading restaurant chain is now they signed up with us for pan India, so they're going to use our thing, and even their walk-ins are captured in that, and such a kind of thing where I know it's sure it's going to work for 100%, then I can just allow that to be published elsewhere, but we will do it when we are pretty much, when we are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I would request you please join me in thanking Mr. Mani for a very, very inspiring, a very enriching session. And my apologies for the others whom I couldn't allow for the queries, but please connect with Mr. Mani offline. I'm sure that should be fine, right? Yes. We request you to connect with Mr. Mani offline for any further queries. Thank you once again, and thank you once again, sir.